So if you'll face any kind of problem like sound problem, so you can inform me in between. So I'll actually the electricity has came back, and so that I will connect it with the other internet. So I'm going to start. We had finished with the point charge. We had solved some problem also based on the point charge. Now I will, we were, and we have seen that what is electric dipole, how to calculate electric dipole, all those things we have seen. I think now in this session I'm going to show you some basic thing about electric flux and Gauss law, and based on that I will show you some numerical, some objective type of numerical which is coming in the gate paper. So we will solve some 4 or 5 numerical, and which will be from there the Gauss law and electric flux, this thing will be clear to you. So let's start with our today's heading is electric flux. So first, it is not working. So just hold for a minute. I was checking the whiteboard. It is not connected, I think. Okay, so we'll start with electric flux. So already we have seen some of the electric. We have solved the problems. We have seen the electric flux in Maxwell theorem also. So, but the basic thing I have not told you. So my idea was that I will give some glimpse about electric flux earlier, so that now if you will study, you will get the clarity. So basically, electric flux is the electric field line which is passing through any surface is known as electric flux. So if I have will write in one word, so I'll write like this, that the so electric flux will be defined as the it is basically a electric field line. So electric field line passing through any surface, so it is known as electric flux. So I will, so suppose that I'm taking a uniform electric field here. Uniform means it has same magnitude and it will be in the same direction. Suppose this is a uniform electric field I'm taking here, which will be having same magnitude and same direction. And inside that electric field, if I am putting one surface charge, so suppose rectangular type surface charge I'm putting here. So like this is our surface charge I'm putting inside that electric field. So let's assume that it is our surface charge, and it is point, and it is perpendicular to the electric field. So I'm representing it by s vector. So this surface charge I am putting in this electric field. This is the uniform electric field, and in that uniform electric field I am putting one surface charge, and which is perpendicular to this direction. So if I'll calculate the electric flux for this, so we have already seen that. So for this, if we'll calculate the electric flux, so we represent electric flux by this, and this will be equal to what the electric field into the surface charge, which we have already seen here. So what I will write here, electric field into the surface charge. And if you can see the the angle, which angle it is making, so it is basically zero degree. So this is what, so I'll put here, so since it is perpendicular, what I will write here, es cos theta, and value of theta will be 0, because it is making a 0 angle here, no angle will be there. So this is the first case which I'm taking here. So what I will write here, theta equal to 0. So what I will get here, electric flux equal to E dot S. And if you will talk about the unit of electric flux, so it will be Weber or volt per meter. So this is the basic definition of electric flux. I have taken one uniform electric field here, and in that electric field I have substituted a surface charge, and and since this charge is perpendicular to the electric field, so its direction is same to that electric field. So how to calculate the electric flux in this case? So since we know that flux is equal to E dot S, so here, since it is perpendicular, so I have written here es cos theta. So value of theta will be 0, so cos 0 will be 1. So there I have calculated electric flux equal to E dot S. So this is the first case. This is the case 1, in which electric field is uniform, and in that uniform electric field I have substituted the surface charge here. So this is the first case. Now moving on, if we go to the second case, so if the electric field is not uniform and that surface charge is also not uniform, so I'll take the second case. So now your doubt will be clear. So I'll go to the second case. So actually one or two question will come, simple question will be there. So by that by today's class, after today's class, your electric flux and Gauss law will be clear to you. So let's take the case second here, second case here. So let's take here second case. So in the second case, so let's see. So now the electric field is not uniform. I mean the direction will be different and magnitude is also different. So like this electric field will be there. And if you have put a surface charge inside that, so if I am putting a surface charge inside that like this, so if this is E, that is direction of electric field, and this is surface charge which I am putting. So let's suppose I am taking a small ds here. So let's take a small part of the surface charge, that is ds. So now I am taking, now I am talking about the small charge. So I'll, one second, actually the net has came. So so now sound is clear and voice, everything is clear. Please tell me, because I think internet connectivity has lost loud in between. Okay, so let's move on. So suppose this electric field I have taken, which is not uniform, and one surface charge I have put it inside that, and the small part of surface charge I have taken and I have denoted it by ds vector. So for a small, if I'll calculate for a small surface, the value for a small surface, so what I will write here, that d epsilon naught is equal to E dot ds. So that ds, which is the small charge, into the electric field. And if I'll calculate for total electric flux for all this, so what I will write here, for total electric flux, if I needed to calculate here, so for total electric flux, the value will be, so that will be in, if I'll integrate this small surface, so I'll get the total electric charge that we have done earlier. So what I will do here, integration of d epsilon naught, and that is E dot ds, which we are already knowing that. So basically three cases will be there. So if you can see that, so this is the second case for the non-uniform case, and this value you are already knowing, we have seen in the Maxwell equation also, and we have seen some problem also we have solved in that also we have seen. So basically three cases will be there. So I will show you, when we will increase the value of theta, the flux value will decrease. So first case was that, this is the second case, and three more cases I will show you. Based on that, you can see that if we can increase the value of theta, the flux value is decreasing. So based on that, one question is always coming to you in assertion and reason, that how the electric field is proportional to this surface charge. So I'll tell you the questions also. So this is the second case. Let's take three more cases, and electric field will be clear to you. So what I'm trying to say by giving those examples, that the electric field will be totally dependent on the surface. So let's tell you by taking three more example, and things will be more clear to you. So this is the first case, this is the second case, this is the third case. So let's start with, so let's suppose I'm taking with the first case, case one here. So the charge is uniform, that we have already seen here. Charge will be uniform, and I'm placing a surface charge here, the first case which I'm talking about. So this will be S, this will be E, it will be perpendicular to E, and theta here will be 0 degree. We have already seen that in that case, what we are getting, ES cos theta, that will be equal to ES. This is our first case which we have seen. Let's suppose now second case, in that theta value is 90 degree. So suppose this is our uniform electric field here, and we are placing the surface like this we are placing like this the surface. This is our surface here. So then s will be like, s surface will be denoted like in that direction, and theta will be what? If you'll see, the theta will be 90 degree. What is the value of theta? Theta will be 90 degree. So now if you'll substitute the value, what you will get? Flux, value of flux, E dot s, and E dot s into cos theta. Value of cos theta is 90, so cos 90 will be 0. So what you will get here? 0. This is our second case. Let's suppose third case. So in that third case, suppose uniform electric field is there. This is our uniform electric field, and in that, if you are substituting our flux electric surface like this our surface is there, like this our surface is there. So what is the angle it is making? Some theta angle it is making here, some theta angle is there. So this is our s vector, this is our s vector, and this is our e vector. So what I will write here, this is our surface. So what I will write here, epsilon naught, that E dot S, and whatever angle it is making, we'll write here ES cos theta. So see, whenever you are increasing the value of theta, the electric flux is decreasing here. So if you are taking the, so suppose, let's suppose I have taken theta equal to 0. So we are getting some ES value here. Now I have increased the value of theta here 90, 0 to 90. What I am getting here? 0 degree. So now in the third case, some angle it is there. So let's suppose that is 45 degree, or anything. Let's suppose it is theta degree only. So what I am getting here? ES cos theta. So whatever, when your voice is not proper. Okay. So let me, okay. I'm making sure that voice should be proper. 1 second. So now your voice is coming or not? Now voice is clear, Aditi. Can you hear me? Okay. So if any difficulties will be there, please tell me. So the case which I'm making here is that if you are increasing the value of theta, so what electric flux is getting decreased. So let me add her. So whatever we are doing, so whenever we are increasing the value of here theta, so if theta will be 0 here, we are getting some value here. So if theta is 90 here, we are getting 0 here. So if value of theta is some degree, we are getting es cos theta. So what the point I'm making here is, whenever you are increasing the value of theta, so you are getting some less value of electric flux. So theta is dependent on the electric flux. So this is all about electric flux. Now we will see some Gauss law, and based on the Gauss law, we will solve some problem. Then clarity will be more. So now next heading is Gauss law. I hope everybody has written that. So now I think you are clear with this. Say in the uniform case, what we have done, we have taken three surface. One surface was perpendicular. One surface was this second case. This case in which theta was 90 degree, and third case we have taken that surface of to some degree. So I have taken three surface here. With that three example, I have shown you that based on the theta degree only, the electric flux is varying here. And I think everybody is clear with the term. How do we define the electric flux? So basically, electric flux is the electric field line passing through any surface. So we have substituted an electric field here, and in that electric field we have put one surface here, and based on that surface we have calculated the electric field. I think everybody is clear with this. So now we will move to Gauss law and some basics of Gauss law, and after that we will solve some problem, and it will be more clear to you. So we have already seen the Gauss law in the Maxwell equation. but we had applied only there. Clarity was not there. But now after today's class, because from the Gauss law, if your brother or sister is younger brother or sister is there, if he or she is studying 11th or 12th, so many questions are there in physics, many questions are there based on the Gauss law. So by today's class, everything will be clear and you will be eligible to make them understand what is Gauss law and what kind of questions they are facing. So see, simply, what is, if somebody will ask you what is Gauss law for electric field, how do we define the Gauss law for an electric field? So basically Gauss law will state that the total electric flux passing through any closed surface which will be equal to the total charge. अरे यार आवाज बंद कर दो ना यार, दिक्कत हो रहा है यहाँ पे. So I'll write those things. So basically Gauss law states that total electric flux passing through any enclosed surface or closed surface which will be equal to so if you will define Gauss law, this is the Gauss law, and by diagram also I will show you. So basically Gauss law will states that the total electric field passing through any enclosed surface will be equal to the total charge enclosed by surface divided by epsilon naught, and that epsilon naught will be the electric flux which I'm talking about. So see, let's suppose this is our enclosed surface, this is our enclosed surface, this is this is your enclosed surface, and I am putting one electric charge here. So charge Q is placed inside that electric this enclosed surface. Then electric flux passing through this enclosed surface will be like this. This will be the electric flux passing through this enclosed surface. This this will be the electric flux passing through this enclosed surface. So so that will be the charge enclosed by the surface divided by epsilon naught. So if I will write here total electric flux, if I'll calculate the total electric flux here, what I will write here, if I needed to calculate total electric flux, so total electric flux will be epsilon naught equal to integration of E dot electric field into the surface charge which we have calculated. So which we have earlier, which, one second, let me admit it. Okay, which we have earlier calculated it. So that will be equal to Q by epsilon naught for enclosed surface. So this is the definition of Gauss law. This is the charge which has been placed inside that field, and this is the epsilon naught. This is the enclosed surface. So if you wanted to derive Gauss law, define Gauss law, so basically Gauss law is Q by epsilon naught. So this is the enclosed surface. Inside that enclosed surface, one charge has been put it here. So direction will be outside. So I will show you how the direction is outside. So for the time being, you just remember this thing. From that we will define the electric Gauss law. Gauss law will be defined as the state that the total electric flux passing through an enclosed surface. So this is the electric flux passing through the enclosed surface. This is the electric flux which I am talking about. This is the electric flux passing through the enclosed surface divided by epsilon naught. So is it clear now? You understand the meaning of Gauss law, physical meaning of Gauss law? Is there any doubt? Please tell me. Yeah. Okay. Because see, this is the electric flux which we have seen. So now I will show you how the direction is coming outside. This I will tell you in the coming uh, sessions. But for the time, you just remember that the Gauss law will be this is the charge which has been placed inside this surface divided by epsilon naught. The epsilon naught will be represented by the flux which we are calculating. This is the flux which we have calculated. So some of the book it will be written as Q by epsilon naught, or some of the book it will be written as Q. So don't get confused. Anything you can take. Never get confused. So this is the basic definition of Gauss law. So based on this, we will solve some problem also. Then more clarity will be there. So after that, I will take some more cases also. So don't by heart this definition which I have written here, you just need to understand that. So, what is Gauss law for an electric field? If somebody will ask you, just needed to tell them that it states that the total electric field flux passing through an enclosed surface. So this is the total electric flux, flux 1, flux 2, flux 3. This is the electric flux passing through an enclosed surface. So since this is closed surface, so passing through an enclosed surface, and which will be equal to the total charge. So what was the charge present in that? Q charge was present in that. So is equal to the total charge by the surface divided by epsilon naught. So this is the physical definition of Gauss law and formula for Gauss law also. So do not get confused. Only learn this thing that Gauss law is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So by this only you can derive this definition. So just remember this, Q by epsilon naught is equal to the Gauss law. Epsilon is the total surface, total electric flux. Epsilon will represent the total electric flux, and Q will represent the total charge inside that electric field. So this is all about Gauss law. Now I will take some cases, and based on that cases I will explain you the Gauss law. So let's take some. So I'm taking some cases here. So let's take first case number 1. So let's take your case 1. So in that case 1, so suppose our enclosed surface is this one. This is our enclosed surface, and positive Q charge is here. So here I am putting positive Q charge, and this is our enclosed surface. So if positive Q charge will be there, then direction will be outside like this. The direction will be like this, like this. This you needed to draw it. So electric flux will come outward to this surface. So what I will write here, electric flux will come outward to this surface, outward to this surface. So if I needed to calculate electric flux here, so what I will write here, electric flux will be equal to integration of total charge, total density. What will be the density? So for density I'm writing here d dot surface charge, ds, is equal to Q enclosed. So this will be the definition for finding the flux as well as the uh, charge. So d will represent the density, so that will be given in the question, you don't need to worry about. And this is the surface charge, and this will be the surface charge. So this is the first case which I am taking. In that first case, what I am doing here, so in that first case I have taken one enclosed surface. This is our enclosed surface, and in that enclosed surface I have substituted one positive charge, that is plus Q. So because of that positive charge, so electric flux will come outward to this surface, which we have seen in the last class only, how the direction is there. So this is the first case. So if suppose this is our second case, in the second case this is our enclosed surface, and in that if I am substituting minus Q charge, so how I will denote the direction? The direction will be inside, like this, like this. Direction will be inside. So if I needed to calculate electric flux, I will write here electric flux equal to d, that will be density dot surface, is equal to minus Q. So this will be case for if minus Q is there. So from that one statement will be there. So that statement will be there for assertion and region, that statement will be, if flux is leaving enclosed surface, then electric, if if flux is leaving, means this case I am talking about, if it is leaving. So if the electric flux is leaving the enclosed surface, then electric field is positive, and if electric flux is entering into the surface, if it is entering into the surface, so what will be the electric flux inside that charge will be negative. So one statement you can make it there, if electric flux coming out of the surface, coming out of the surface, then Q will be positive Q will be there. And second statement is, if electric flux going inside the surface, then minus Q will be there. As you can see in the figure, if plus Q will be there, then electric flux is going outside the surface. If minus Q is there, then electric flux is coming inside the surface. And this is the two formula which we needed to calculate the electric flux. So I think this is clear to you. So so based on this only we are going to solve the problem. So if any doubt is there, please tell me. If any kind of doubt is there, please tell me. One more case I will assume here. After that, clarity will be more. Amisha has written something. Let me. D is combination of E and epsilon naught. Yes, you can say that. D means density, whatever density you are getting. Amisha, D is combination of E and epsilon naught. That will be density only. We knew how to calculate electric flux in the last problem. I will show you by giving example. I will show you how the questions are coming. Not to get worried, only you understand these two terms which I am trying to tell you, that electric flux coming out of the surface, then positive charge will be there. If electric flux is going inside the surface, then negative charge is there. So please consider these two cases for examples. I will tell you how to solve it, how the problems are coming in that. So don't get worried about that. Now this is clear to you, Amisa, which I am telling you now, right now. Amisa, be quick. Okay, so one more case I will take, and after that we'll solve some problem. Then more clarity will be there. We'll solve some 5 or 6 problem, objective type problem will be there. I'll get your views also. So by that your more clarity will be there. So let's suppose one more case. Let's the case third will be. I'm supposing that case third is there. So let us one more case will be there that will give significance of Gauss law. How Gauss law is there. So one enclosed surface is there. So let's suppose one enclosed surface I'm taking, and Q charge is here. So the electric field, what the electric field? So electric field is going that like this. So if Q charge is here, so from the Q charge, the electric field will travel far from the Q charge. As you can see, if positive Q was there, what we are doing, the electric field was going far from in the first case which we have seen. So in that case, how I will write? So it will go far from. So it will go like this towards the enclosed surface, like this. It will be go. So for those charge, electric field will be happen as per this. So for the so for this region, if I needed to calculate the electric flux for this region, if I needed to calculate electric for this region, so what I will write here, for this region, what I will write here, that the surface will be negative because it is going inside. If for this region, if we needed to calculate, or if second case, if they will ask you to calculate for this region, this region, this is the first region, this is second region. If for this region they are going to ask you to calculate, then what I will write here, the electric flux will be negative. If they will ask you to calculate for this region, so in that region, what it will leave, it will be leaving the surface, it will be coming here and leaving the surface. So what I will write, that the electric flux will be positive. So I hope in this example all the two cases will be clear. So if this surface will be like this, and some Q charge has been put here, so because of that Q charge, the direction will be like this, it will be going away from this. So if two surfaces will be there, if I am calculating for this, so what I will get here, minus Q. If I'll calculate for this other surface, here, this side, what I will get, plus Q. So is there any doubt why I have written minus Q here and why I have written plus Q here? So please tell, is there any doubt how I have written minus Q and plus Q there? Okay, clear. So we will solve some problem, and how the question is coming in the MCQ. Basically, from the Gauss law, there will be one or two problem in your gate paper, and see, simple problem will be there. You just needed to use the simple thing which I am telling you. So see how the problem is coming to your paper. So I'll ask to you. So you just give me your view, and based on that, I will tell that either it is correct or wrong. So see, suppose first problem is like this. So I have taken from gate only. So the if problem was like this, Gauss law is applicable for, so the option will be point charge, B option will be seed charge, C option will be line charge, and D option will be point, seat, and line charge. Please tell me which option is correct. Please tell your view. So based on the definition, please tell me which option will be correct. गलत सही कुछ भी तुक्का नहीं मारना है, बस अपने हिसाब से बताइए, दिमाग लगा के क्या सही है क्या गलत है. Which option is correct? Anybody? Sheet charge. Please give me your reason. Amisha, please give your reason. Why you have thought sheet charge, since it is unique? We have not deal with sheet charge, so sheet charge might be correct answer. We have dealt with point charge, line charge, and coast surface. No. So your logic was correct and enclosed surface, but was your answer was not correct. So please, anybody else? Anybody else having another answer? So this was one number question, and see, this is very simple question. Just apply your brain and you get the answer. So please think for a second. You will get right answer. D. Very good. Why D? Very good. Why D? Why D? So Aditi, please tell me the reason why D. Enclosed points. Very good. Very good. So that was I'm expecting from you. Very good, Aditi. So since in the definition only I've told you that Gauss law states that the total electric field through any closed surface will be equal to the charge enclosed by that surface. So it will be applicable to the point charge, surface charge, and volume charge everywhere. From the definition only, it is clear that. And she has written the correct answer. She has given the correct options, and correct. She has verified also by giving her regions. So point D is correct. So I can write here Aditi 1, rest 0. So please try. I'll give some more questions are very simple. Use your brain, and you means try to read the problem for one or two times. So this questions you will not get anywhere. If you take the gate paper from there, I have taken, so there you will get those questions. So see, simple problem is coming. I have taught you the Gauss law, and based on the Gauss law, the simplest problem is there, that Gauss law is applicable for which, where it is applicable, where either it is applicable to point charge or seat charge. You can call this seat charge and line charge or everywhere. So option D is correct. So let me see. I'll write one more question. So let me see how many of you can answer it. So if I'll write one more question here. Electric flux density is a function of your options are volume, charge, current, or voltage. So please tell me quick. So this is the simplest problem, I think. So electric flux density is a function of volume, charge, current, voltage. What is the correct answer? So based on the definition of electric flux density, we can give the answer. Please tell me the correct answer. B. Others? Others have any view? So others can't think. Amisha, voltage maybe. Maybe. What is maybe or Amisha? There should be no maybe. So okay, and one more has given me the answer. Let me see in the chat box. So Ritika said D. Why Ritika D? Why it is voltage? Don't get scared, yaar. Tell me your answer and be quick. This is the simplest problem I'm dealing with. If you cannot solve this problem, sir, confusion है answer में. क्या confusion है हमेशा? Please tell me. No, sir. B. Okay, B. So actually, B is correct answer, and if you can see by the definition only that electric flux density is the charge per unit area. So there is no there is no point of thinking or using your brain also. By definition only, you can give the correct answer, and B is the correct answer, and one more mark. So see, this is the simplest problem you can. If you cannot solve this, or if you are not interested in this, I don't know, you can solve any MFT problem. So I will write one more question here. And this is the and actually this problem has been asked in gate, so you can see if you are clear with the basic terms you can clearly score some marks in the gate. So one more question is there, please try to use your brain. I know I will not say brain because nobody is using here. So as charge increases, what happens to flux density? So now see, as we are increasing the charge, then flux density will, your options are increasing. Second option is decreases. Third is it will remain constant. And fourth will be it will become zero. So please tell. Now this you can tell, this you can easily tell. So when as charge increases, what will happen to the flux density? Either it will increase or decrease, or it will be or it will remain constant or zero. Amisha A. Okay, correct. This time Amisha has given correct explanation. Yeah, Aditi, it is correct. So for explanation, you can say that electric flux density is the charge per unit area. So the expression what we can write is there, D equal to Q by A. So electric flux is directly proportional to charge here. So hence, if charge will be increases, then electric flux will also get increases. So this is the explanation for this. So correct option A is correct here. So I'll write one more question here. So these all are from gate, and if you can, so like same problem. If I can write, if as area increases, what happens to electric flux density? So when you will increase the area, what will happen to electric flux density? The options are increases, decreases, remain constant, becomes zero. So when you will increase the area, so please tell me the option B, correct. It will be decreasing because electric flux density is the charge per unit area. Same explanation. Yeah, Avantika, it is correct. So D is equal to Q by A. So when electric flux is inversely, so here in this case, electric flux will be inversely proportional to area. Hence, the area will increase, electric flux will decrease. So by this logic only we can tell. So see, D is equal to Q by A. B is the correct answer, decreases. So we'll solve some more problem. I'll give you some more problem. So see, if you're clear with the basic terms, you can easily score some good marks in EMFT, and problems are very logical. Just simple problems are there. So I'll write one more question here. So let me write it. So the question is like that: the force applied, numerical problem in the gate. You see how simple it is. The force applied to a conductor is 10 Newton, and if the charge is given as, charge in the conductor is 5 coulomb. So what is the electric field? Intensity. The same problem we have solved. Now see the options which we have given a 10 volt per meter, 2 volt per meter, 3 volt per meter, and 15 volt per meter. So this was the option. The force applied to a conductor is, the force is given as 10 Newton and the charge for the conductor is 5 coulomb, and they are asking you to calculate the electric field intensity. So please tell me what is the correct answer. So please tell me what is the correct answer. So anybody? So anybody is interested in giving the answer? So let me solve it. So anybody answer 5? Aditi wrong. How 5 was there? 5 is not in the option only. I think 5 is not there in the option also. 2 volt per meter. Yes, yes, it is correct. 2 is correct. So I think she is using her brain. If you can see, E is equal to force by charge, which we have seen in the electric field intensity. Then 10 by 5 equal to 2 volt per meter. Over. So one line problem, one line solution. So now you can see how the question is coming. I'll give one more problem to you based on this. So what is the electric? So if you have 10-year gate paper, you can find all those questions there. So see, if you are good in the EMFT, no rocket science is there. Simple problem is there. You just need to use your brain in all the problems. If you are cleared with the definition, why I'm telling the definition here? Because based on the definition, only one problem will be there. So if you are clear with the definition, if you are clear with the concept, definitely you can solve the problem of EMFT. So the question is, what is the electric field density in free space? They are talking about in free space if the electric field intensity is 1 volt per meter, and your options were 7.76 into 10 to the power minus 12. B option is 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. C is 1.23 into 10 to the power minus 12, and D is 3.43 into 10 to the power minus 12. So I'll repeat the question one more time, and this is also a simple problem. So let me remove it. So the problem is like this, that they are asking you to calculate the electric flux density in the free space if the intensity is given as 1 volt per meter. So please tell me what will be the correct answer. So always remember one formula that we have seen, that how to calculate D, that is D is equal to epsilon into E. So value of epsilon. So what is E given here? Electric field intensity 1 into B. Correct answer B. B is the correct answer. So what I will write here? 1 into 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. So if you calculate it, you will get, yeah, B. Ritika correct. 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. So this is the correct answer. So this type of question is coming. So I'll give you one last problem, and please try your effort. One last problem is there. So now your electric flux and Gauss law will be clear to you. So all those problems which I have solved here, try to read it one more time in your home, and if you can see, most of the thing is clear to you. So one last problem is there. So actually the meeting is for 5 more minutes. So this is of 2 mark question. See how simple it is. So this is in the gate paper. If the in a conductor charge in a conductor is 16 coulomb, and the area of cross section is 4 meter square. So they are asking you to calculate the electric flux density. And your options are 64 C coulomb per meter square. Second option is 16 coulomb per meter square. Third option is 4 coulomb per meter square. And fifth option is 2 coulomb per meter square. So charge is given as 16 C, and area of cross section is 4. So C. Yeah, correct. So see how simply C has solved. C, very good. See, so we know that D is equal to Q by A. So Q is given as 16, A is 4. So what we will get? 4C per meter square. C is the correct answer. So if you can solve the gate problem, like this problem is coming to the gate. So just you needed to apply the basic thing which we have learned here. So this is all for today. I don't think these topics are very simple. So try to read one more time. I'll upload those videos in the YouTube, and I will share the link there. So this is all for today's class. Tomorrow we will meet. So my question point charge. What, Ritika? Pentagon. So what was your question? Please tell me. So actually in that pentagon which we are asking, so for that
तो बोला था
हाँ हाँ,
हेलो
so five four
सर मैंने
charge
आपको बोला था वो पेंटागन में डायरेक्शन
हाँ, four charges were given, and for fifth charge was not given. So I was assuming that the fifth charge's direction was like this E. So Ritika, I'll call you and then I will clear to you, because the meeting is going to get end. So I'll call you and will clear this doubt to you, whatever doubt you are having. Okay, Ritika. After this class, I'll call and clear this doubt to you. So this is all for today. And in tomorrow's class, we will study first biomedical, and after biomedical, we will study EMFT. If time will be there, we will study EMFT. So thank you for today. We will meet in tomorrow's session.